moving on.
To the I hate Mumford and Sons corner. I already fucking hate Mumford and Sons, all right. You know these. You know this, you assholes. Okay, so anyone who's a friend of mine or knows Audioface knows my deep disdain for Mumford and Sons. You've already heard it when I did a review like 2-3 years ago, and I tried to give them like a little bit of breaker, and then it ended up being stupid tight jean wearing like 3 sizes too small, stupid hat, everything. Their music is absolute dog shit.
Real talk, I am absolutely going to listen to episode 75, which was a wonderful episode that we did in 2018 featuring Anderson
.Paak, Mumford and Sons.
And The Good, the Bad, and the Queen.
Oh, that was The Good, the Bad, and the Queen. I remember that. Yeah, that was a wild episode.
I'm going to go back and listen to that episode because that was just like a great time in life generally, but also I want to hear you go into Mumford and Sons again because I forgot about that. I was dying, man.
I had to go into them because I hate them. But anyways.
Me too.
So...
It looks like they're chief banjoist.
If they're chief banjoist. If you don't dislike them, if you don't hate them, as is already, right? Like my deep disdain of them.
We'll give you reasons.
We'll give you reasons to join on the Sean hype train of hating Mumford and Sons. So Winston Marshall, who's their chief banjo plicker, he was praising Andy Ngo.
Andy Ngo. He's a notorious right-wing commentator. He's written and been kicked off of a number of different websites. He's, especially for those friend of the show Audioface listeners who are into the whole like Dave Rubin free speech thing kind of thing. He was one of those types of journalists who would go to protests where there would be anti-fascists and who would try to instigate
them and do whatever it would to then try and further out his ideology.
He turned having a milkshake essentially thrown at him and tried to make it as though he was attacked by this like Antifa super soldier with a violent mix of concrete, knives, and Starbucks refreshers. And it was thrown like directly at my face. It's so terrible. He literally tried to make a victimization like he's being seriously threatened by this. It's the same thing as like, oh no, our police officers, they're in such danger. We recovered some water bottles that were thrown at them, and it's just like, there's so much going on here. He's a complete ass clown. But the banjoist has decided to basically show himself, tweeting a congratulations to Andy Ngo and his book, saying, finally had time to read your important book, You're a Brave Man, in a since-deleted tweet.
Because he got ratioed to fucking hell.
Yeah, people realize who Andy Ngo is, and they know he's a piece of shit, especially on Twitter.com. And so...
My favorite tweet, though, one fan wrote, I may be naive, but banjo player from Mumford & Sons comes out as Nazi. It was not a headline I foresaw.
As someone, I think one of the smartest people on Twitter, Juggalo Descolorido, says, I'm just reading this.
That is a beautiful name.
So I'm guessing this means you're fa or pro-fa? Because that's always the point here, is they're called anti-fascists. No matter how often the Republicans like Glenn Beck try to say that they're the real fascists, they sound dumber every single time they do it. So again, like if you're writing a book that's all about like fighting against anti-fascists, you're fighting against the anti-fascists, against antis. That cancels out, so you're pro-fascist. Anyways, of course, there's like a couple little things here, but this shouldn't be surprising. Never mind the fact that Sean and I knew that not just off of their political opinions, but musically, as a band, they're terrible. Yes. There's another photo that resurfaced of Jordan Peterson with a couple of the band members.
Jordan B. Peterson.
Yes, Lobster Boy himself, who's also
Carnival Diet himself.
Sure, fucking Christ.
Hooked on drugs like phonics himself.
Yeah, it was Winston Marshall and bandmates Ben Lovett and Ted Dwayne who posed for a photo with Jordan Peterson a while back. And, there we go. I love how everyone's just like, nobody could have seen this Mumford & Sons thing coming. It's like, even we saw it coming. Like, everyone saw this coming. Anyone who's paying attention to music definitely saw this coming. But I love that we can have more reasons to hate Mumford & Sons for being conservative, reactionary assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could be conservative, that's chill. Like, whatever. You're wrong, but cool.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't got nothing, but then you're actively going up to harmful people. Like,
I'm very indifferent about people's personal political opinions, especially because in America, they all contradict. But, like...
Extremely true.
Me not caring stops when people take their political positions and they start to try to tell other people how to live their lives because of that. Yes. And that's why I lose a shit ton of patience very quickly.